our stand in a world so cold. We are the stories that will never be told. In the chaos we find our might. Survivors of darkness, we're ready to fight. This is our stand in a world so cold. We are the stories that will never be told. In the chaos we find our might. Survivors of darkness, we're ready to fight. For when the silence falls, we'll still be here. In the end of all things, we conquer fear. For when the silence falls, we'll still be here. In the end of all things, we conquer fear. Oh yeah, we will conquer fear. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hello, hello, everyone. How y'all doing? Well, you know, today is just the normal whatever. It is good evening survival, you know. We'll wait until we get about, you know, we'll wait until we get about half a dozen before we, start actually talking about stuff. Right now, we'll just, chew the fat, talk some bullshit, stuff like that. Um, I know it's been a minute. It's been a good long minute since I went live. I've done anything. It's just, you take a break from YouTube because life is more important than YouTube ever will be. Um, Uno momento, everybody. Work is calling me. Hey, what have you been, sir? See, you changed your name. Yeah, sorry about that. Work was calling me. Uh, but yeah, like I was saying, it's been a minute since I did a live. It's been a minute since I've done anything with my channel. But things will be changing here soon. Right now, we got a new house put on the property and everything. We're dealing with that right now. We're dealing with, getting electricity and water and everything. Ah, nice, brother. Nice, nice. Good to hear you back. Good to see you back, brother. But, you know, life gets in the way of YouTube a lot. It really, really does. Especially if you ain't making any money on YouTube. You know, most of the time, YouTube channels start out as a hobby. Then things start happening. Ah, okay, okay, good, good, good. But you know, YouTube is really a hobby at first, and but you know, and I ain't got the time to whore myself out on all these social media platforms. I ain't got time to raise my channel awareness to do anything with this, you know. What I do on this channel is to really help everybody else. Hey, David, how you doing, brother? Hey. Oh no, man down. Sorry, I took a drink of my drink. Anyways, you know, if you don't have the means to do a lot of stuff with your YouTube channel, like YouTube's really not worth anything. There's too much hypocrisy. There's too much he said, she said BS that goes on YouTube that just shouldn't happen. Too many different opinions, too many different ideas, too many whatever. YouTube just isn't the platform anymore for most people. It's really a soul sucking, you know, death. It really is. And nobody deserves the pain and the trauma and the stress of doing YouTube. It's like everybody thinks and believes that they are going to do something different in their YouTube field. Oh, I'm doing good, David. I'm doing good. I'm just sitting here ranting and raving because too much BS. You know, everybody thinks that they bring something unique to the field or unique to whatever. And that's the thing. If you choose a field, say paranormal, say cryptozoology, say survivalism, you know those are just basic skills and mindsets that every other person there's 1,000 plus other channels to your channel. It's not, none of these fields are groundbreaking anymore. There is nothing in any basic Terran ideas that has changed. Nothing. Everybody investigates the same. It's just like in survival. Survival, we are still using and utilizing skill sets of our great grandparents. Even in the year of our Lord 2026, we are still teaching people to rub two sticks together to create fire. Instead of telling people to just buy a big lighter and have it on you at all times. We are still telling people to boil water when you can go to Walmart and buy a Sawyer Mini that filters over 3,000 gallons of water. We are trying to keep tradition still alive in a format that is evolving higher and faster than anything else. Yeah, I know, Ron, thanks. Yeah, I know nobody likes me. It's all good with me. But it's just, and it's the same thing with every other field out there. We are still using ideas from over a century ago. We still believe a piece of cardboard paper made by Milton Bradley summons demons. It's just like we still believe that there's a Loch Ness monster. We still believe that there is Sasquatch walking around freely. People want to believe. That is the problem. The problem is the want, the need, the crave to believe in something that is not and cannot be real. People don't want to take biology in cryptozoology, but they want to take biology in survivalism. People don't want to look at new concepts in paranormal. People don't want to believe that a haunted Fisher-Price robotic doll from the 1980s that had a power capacitor in it that stores power can make a doll come alive. Like, I saw this thing about Teddy Ruxpin doll. It was in a antique shop, and the owner of the antique shop was selling it as a haunted Teddy Ruxpin doll. And the reason why is because it was beside a power outlet, and once maybe an hour, it would blink its eyes. It would blink its eyes and open its mouth to speak, but people don't realize that Teddy Ruxpin's was just a speaker, that it needed the tapes to talk. So that power converter inside of it was building up conductive energy from the power source and coming alive because it was beside a power source, an electrical power source. And this owner wanted like $400 for a Teddy Ruxpin. $400 for it. And there was multiple people on this live that were bidding on it because people don't do their research. People don't realize what happens. People don't want to understand science. People don't want to understand biology. People have fantasy. Fantasy is the one thing that keeps us sane, technically. It's just like all these lone wolf survivalists that say, oh, you give me a knife and I can survive out in the woods forever with just a knife. And that's complete and utter bullshit, too. That is the overzealous, the overconfident, and people with no skills that say that. It is one of those conundrums that I can't say it right. So make fun of me or whatever for all I care. I don't care. Anyways. People only have fantasy to hold on to. People believe that they are one in a million. People believe that they are special. Because that's the way the world wants you to believe. People want you to believe that you are more than what you are. And that mentality, that view, gets people killed. Survival can be used in any situation. Yes. Survival can be used mentally, can be used physically, can be used in everyday life. Survival can also be used in hunting, tracking. Survival can also be used in paranormal. Survival can also be used in cryptozoology, in supernatural. Everything. People don't want to believe that everything is tied together. Everything connects. Just like electrical currents, all electrical currents connect. You feed lower wattage from higher wattage. You feed lower wattage into higher wattage. You feed higher wattage into higher wattage. And the same thing that goes for you that you eat, or what you need to survive, is the same thing for anything else in this world. Evolution is the only difference that has separated us. Other animals have evolved to what they needed to evolve for. And that takes generations, countless of generations, to evolve. Humans are the only ones that don't evolve. We evolve mentally. We don't evolve physically. We don't evolve supernatural powers. We don't evolve anything. We are all connected together in the same way. Some people may be smarter than others, yes. Some may have an extra chromosome, something like that. It's just like the descendants of the survivors of the Black Plague in Europe. Those descendants are very few and far between. Yes, they have a higher resistance to sicknesses, but they can still get sick. But that was only because their ancestors were able to survive and their body was able to adapt to that sickness to be able to pass those traits on to the next generation. It's like if you have a vegan and you put them out in a survival situation out in the middle of God knows where, guess what? Their humanity and their natural senses are going to kick in and they will eat meat because that is a food source. Your body still craves it. Your body still needs that nutrients. Yes. You can bypass it with certain other vegetables or whatever. But if you don't have access to that, you can't eat. Your body craves it. That's why they come out with Impossible Chicken and stuff, because your body still craves that taste, that need, that sensation of meat flavor. Just like in a survival situation, if you think you're going to survive on beans and rice every fucking day, you're stupid. You think you're going to survive on MREs every day, you're stupid also. People don't realize this. People's like, oh, our ancestors have survived on honey and milk and all this stuff for generations. but they still used meat and other things besides that. I'll be right back, everybody. I gotta go get drinks and stuff, and I'm going inside. I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. Yeah. Oh yeah, Ron. It's one of those things. It people believe people have a mindset, and people believe what they truly want to believe. And the only reason why people act the way that they do is because of mindset and the idea of whatever. They follow a strict code because that's what other people believe. When push comes to shove, your body will do anything and make you do anything to survive. It's just like if you're sitting in the freezing cold, if you're sitting in the cold, your body and your brain will cut off blood circulation to every other part of your body that it does not require essential. So that means toes. Toes aren't essential to your survival. Toes aren't essential to you living. Fingers are not essential to you surviving. That goes for your hands, your arms, your legs. As long as it keeps your body running, it will deny everything else and cut it off for your survival. Is it a good survival tactic? No. Because you lose feeling to your toes and feet and legs, you have nowhere to get to safety. Your mind doesn't understand that. Your mind is thinking that it's selfish. Your mind is selfish. Your mind is the overlord of your whole body. And it will make you crave things that it needs. It doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care what you believe. It is essential functions. And your mind is the grand computer. Just like when you get bit by a snake or you get bit by something venomous. As soon as your body reacts to that venom, it goes into the fight or flight. It goes to believing that if it runs faster, it can get to a safer position. It can get to an area and think of what it needs to do to try to fight off this venom in your system. It doesn't know what venom it is. It says, I need to get to safety. I need to do something to protect myself. Hey, what's up, Razor? How you doing? The thing, and that's in any survival situation. Like we were talking about, if a vegan gets trapped in the woods and everything, and it sees, and you see that you can capture a fish easily to eat it, your body's going to tell you, I am starving. And your body's going to react without you even knowing to try to give it the nutrients that it needs. Yeah, I've been gone for a minute, Razor. I know. I just thought I would try to revive this dead horse of a channel and try to come back. You know what I mean? Like I was telling everybody. Unless you're making money on YouTube, YouTube is a hobby. I've always told everybody that life comes first before YouTube. Razor. Yeah, the vegan mindset is a mixture of a multitude of different religions and ideas, and it's like veganism is the Pandora box of humanity. People want to bitch and whine that we kill animals every day, but then they don't understand that plants are living beings also. Plants have feelings, plants can understand, plants can hurt, and plants can die. And, one of those misconceptions, like people don't look at the reasons behind everything else. The reason why most people went vegan is because they had no access to meat. It's like Gandhi and stuff. Like when the British rule took over, India, they couldn't hunt just anything. And also their religion wouldn't let them hunt specific meat types. Yeah. Yeah, that is true, Razor. YouTube is all about sex, youth. Oh my God, I hate people. But yeah, it's all about sex, youth, and looks. Like, and what's trending. Hey, Tryon, how you doing, brother? Yeah, you would think that, but fish have feelings, and fish are a living creature, so they don't want anything to do with the use and abuse of animals. Yeah, brother, it's been a minute since I've been here. Uh, we got a new house. We got, we're trying to get all the stuff put in. We're trying to get electricity put in. We're trying to get water put in. We're trying to get, septic tank put in. We're kind of put YouTube on hold and everything until we get this house up and running, Yeah. Then I'm thinking about, when we get this house up and running and stuff, that means that I would have more time to do things because I'll be able to continue setting up my man cave and taking care of that and be able to actually do real videos and edit them myself and do a lot of things. Yeah, it is. It really is. Oh yeah, Razor. Yeah, yeah. We bastardize a lot of wording. We manipulate words to fit what the population desires. You know, it's always been that way. And it's true. You know, it goes back to that saying, the pen is mightier than the sword. And that is true because, especially in this day of age, like saying, oh, grass fed beef, raise the price up. Oh, you know, grass fed chicken eggs, naturally laid chicken eggs. It's all a gimmick and a scheme to allow the blind to live their fantasy. You know what I mean? It's just like anything that's sold. I mean, it's like a Leatherman multi-tool, right? Everybody in the damn survival community says, "Oh, you need a Leatherman multi-tool to take care of every need that's possible." But people don't understand that Leatherman tools are made for building and manual labor and not survival. What are you going to use a pair of needle nose pliers for in the wilderness? Like, it's a multi-tool only has two tools that you truly need, and that's a knife and a saw. Some come with a file. Yes, some come with a file, but it's not, you know, it's steel. It's not carbon steel. So it's not like you can use that file to make sparks. You can't use stainless steel in most survival situations. Stainless steel rusts over time also. So you have to have maintenance on it. You have to take care of it. You have to oil it. You have to do all this stuff. And it's just because some YouTuber that has no idea what he's talking about has a deal with Leatherman saying, "Oh yeah, use this in in any survival situation to get out and do whatever." It's like a Leatherman knife only has 50 psi before it snaps and breaks. So if you think a Leatherman knife is going to save your life in the wilderness, think again. And yeah, while fishing, like basic need, like basic chores and everything. You know what I mean? It's like, if you need to fix a bolt, you got a multi-tool on you. If you need, if you need to tighten a bolt or something, yeah, you got a multi-tool. You got this. You got it. But most people, have you ever seen that there's an Australian survival YouTube channel, and he goes to like the islands and everything outside of Australia, and does like these, "Oh, I'm surviving 3 days of no food, no water, but I have but my only tool is a Leatherman multi-tool." Like, he was sitting here trying to pop open clams and everything with the knife, and he showed that he put the knife blade in a clam and tried prying it open with the knife part. Instead of the flathead screwdriver part that is also a pry bar, he used the knife. And as soon as he did that, that clam latched onto the blade, and he twisted and he snapped the blade. He snapped the blade off of the Leatherman. And he's like, well, there goes my only means of survival. And he's like, oh, but don't worry. I have a lifetime warranty on my Leatherman, so I can get it replaced. So it's like, you had to throw in an advertisement saying that your Leatherman is replaceable and you're supposedly on a survival outing. Like, yeah. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Yeah, if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up. Yeah, I'm not knocking multi-tools can be a lifesaver. I'm not. But in a wilderness survival compared to a urban survival, I wouldn't take a multi-tool. Like, because there's a difference in wilderness and then in, urban survival. Okay. Yeah. I thought because I had the windows cracked on it, so I thought maybe the wind was doing something. But I'm glad. But everything has its purpose. Everything in survival has its purpose. Everything in the end of time has its purpose. Yes. But some things are more suited for what it's meant to be. Correct, Trine. Correct. I got you. Okay. Well, I'm glad for that, brother. I'm glad you could hear me good. But everything has its intended use for its certain abilities. You know what I mean? Like, telling somebody that they can survive 3 to 4 days with a multi-tool in the wilderness is far-fetched. I mean, like I said, the two tools that you truly need on a multi-tool is the saw and the knife. You need the saw to be able to cut everything down, to be able to fix whatever you need, and then the knife to do all the cutting and prepping and stuff. And even harvesting, like, skinning or descaling, taking the scales off a fish, gutting a fish. You need a knife for that. I mean, unless you have really sharp nails, like you're going to be eating that fish whole. Correct. Correct, Razor. And 90% of people don't have the budget. Most people don't have the budget for a good quality one. You know what I mean? Like, most people don't even have in their budget to buy a good Swiss Army knife. You know? Like, a good Swiss Army knife. I'm talking about with multiple tools and accessories and everything on it. Can run easy $200-300. If you get something like the hiker or what is it, the camper, like the budget ones, those run about $60 to $100. And like if you buy a Leatherman, unless you get one of their basic Leathermans, you're looking at $100 easy. $100 easy for a good Leatherman, you know? And just being honest, most people don't have that kind of budget, especially in this day of age. Most people do not have a budget for high class, high end survival gear. It Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was giving props to the Swiss Army knife but you know, like a good Swiss Army knife costs money, but I'd rather have a Swiss Army knife than I would a multi tool, Yes, that is true, Razor. That is true. The earth repeats. I mean, it always repeats everything. Yep. Yep. Because they know how good it is. And especially with all the hype and everything that people talk about buck knives and stuff like that, prices go up, especially when they see people buying the crap out of them. You know what I mean? Because there's an influencer or whatever on YouTube or TikTok or whatever talking good about this product. So let's start increasing the price on this stuff because people are talking good things about it. So that means revenue will come up. I mean, every big company, every big box store and whatever has ears everywhere. They have ears and eyes everywhere, especially with big name people like on YouTube and TikTok and all this stuff. Like they they're like piranha waiting in the water. Yeah, they do. I mean, and the thing is that saw is used for delicate work too. It's used for making traps. It's used for making angles. It's used for everything. Yeah, yeah. So this is the new house. Like I said, we're waiting to get the septic in. We're getting everything put, got to wait until next week for the electrician to come out, do the electric. Then the week after that, the water company's coming to put in a new tap and everything to run water to the house. Then we got a septic company coming in to do the digging and everything for the septic tank. Because I bought a septic tank straight out, and then I got a plumber that's going to come out and hook the water up and hook up the septic tank, and I think he's going to dig it out or whatever. But that septic company plumber guy. I mean, the thing, like it's like the big trend a couple of years ago was the silky saws. Everybody on YouTube and TikTok and everything else was talking all this wonderful thing about the Japanese silky saw. That it's not a two-way push saw, it's a one-way saw. And nobody ever said that. Nobody said that for the longest time. Everybody was just showing, oh, how well it cuts, but they never showed. They were like, oh, it's got a carbon steel blade. You could use that to create sparks if you're in a survival situation. You could do this with it. But they never said how if you push it wrong, it will get caught and bent and snap. It's not like American two-way saws that push and pull when they cut. And then everybody, the biggest idiot on YouTube, the Canadian prepper, him and that stupid silky saw katana. Who in their right mind needs a 6-foot saw? Who? In a survival situation. Oh God, guys, I am lost in a survival situation. Let me run in the back of my car and let me go grab my silky saw katana and go cut down a whole entire forest. Like, he couldn't even put the silky saw in a backpack. He had to custom make a silky saw attachment holder on the side of his backpack because it's so huge and unwieldy. And it's like every big name survival channel had that stupid thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, I know, Razor, yeah. I just realized that most 90% of survival is fantasy. This is why I call a lot of survivalists weekend warriors, because they are. These people know that we live in a perfect society. Even if they do a $10 challenge and they have to stay over the weekend with their $10 from Dollar Tree, they still have enough food to last them 2 days. And then they're back to eating steak or whatever, hamburgers tomorrow. This is why I miss Survivor Man. But it's hard to say with all the publicity and everything that these big name survivalists have went through. Bear Grylls and, what was that husband and wife team? The Graysons or whatever they were. His wife was a reporter and he was some kind of special forces member and everything, and like Green Berets or whatever. And they were dropped off together. She had no survival skills or anything. She was just a news reporter. And so she relied heavily on him. And, all of them were categorized as hotel sleepers. Like, they weren't literally out there. Like, they were out there for filming and that was it. And it's just like Bear Grylls with his action-packed, video team recording him. You're telling me that cameraman did not have food on him. You're telling me that he didn't have anything. Yes. Man, woman, wild. That's it. Thank you. Trying. But you're trying to tell me that this video person was carrying a huge camera with him 24/7, all that stuff. He wasn't eating. You're telling me that he didn't have any food on him whatsoever. Yeah. Like, it's one of those. It's just like I used to watch him when I was little, the British Survivor guy. I loved him. I loved the British Survival guy. Mayers. What's his name? I loved him. Back in the day. When he came on PBS, I was watching him when I was little. I saved up $400 in the 90s to buy his limited edition survival knife. Made out of Damascus steel, and it was a perfect bush knife and all this stuff. And I took it out in the woods and I started doing survival when I was little. And I was sitting there, I was cutting a sapling and everything. And then I went to sharpen it on a stone because it was like, oh, it could be sharpened on anything, right? I was sharpening it on a stone. And when I was sitting there sharpening, it could have been user error. It could have been because I was only like 11, 12. But when I was sitting there sharpening it, I had my hand on the tip of the blade. I had my hand on the handle. I was doing a smooth, wet, sharp on a rock. And I heard a snap. And I was like, what was that? Come to find out that I guess it wasn't hardened correctly or whatever. But when I went to go cut down another sapling and everything to build my makeshift hut, it completely cracked in half and broke on me. And that was, that was my own money. That was my money. And it made me so mad. It He's so mad. I bought this knife with Mayer's name on it, and it just broke on me. It's just like all these other YouTubers and everything that went with some Chinese company to make their own specific survival knife. And like, what's her name? I'm not good with names. Her name is like Lily something. She used to do a lot of things with the Canadian survival. The Canadian survivalist, and she got a big calling, and they made her knife, and she wanted $1,000 for that because her name was on it. It's like, are you serious? And then all the Bear Grylls bullshit. Bear Grylls survival kit, Bear Grylls knife, Bear Grylls this, Bear Grylls med kit. And it's like, he never had any of that stuff on his TV show. Why is he putting his name on a med kit? Why is he putting his name on a knife? He never used any of it. Yeah, Survival Lily. That's it. Thank you, Ryan. It's like Bear Grylls never used any of this stuff. And it's just like, Les Stroud. He made his deal with, Camillus. And it's like, you're selling a one pot survival kit to normal people, but less, you don't ever carry any of that stuff in survival. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, these people sold their name like on a devil's contract. It was stupid. Like, you're going to tell people that they need this one beat all survival kit, but your TV show is about surviving. Your TV show is about surviving with what you have. Like, whatever was in your backpack or whatever was in your car or whatever, like, but now you're selling your name on this $300, $200, survival kit. Get out of here. Like, it's like, that's not what you do. Like, I can expect it from Bear Grylls. I can expect it from him. Like, now that Les Stroud has his survival channel out, Bear Grylls has got to have his survival channel too, talking about his glory days in survival. That's the thing with guys. When we get too old, we talk about our glories. We talk about, what I could do then, and I could do. And it's kind of the same way. It's like Les Stroud, he's hitting what, 70, 60 something, 70? And he said it himself. He said in his old age, when he was at a survivors convention, he said he can't do what he used to be able to do back 20 years ago. And then you got, Bear Grylls Chad. like uno momento, family. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Gave the wife her drink and everything. So oh god, it's so bright out here. Yeah. Oh, trust me. Trust me, trying. It's the same thing with my thing with Shadow Scout Swede. Me and him are good friends and everything, but he has a fucking even F1. That thing's like $1,500 for this knife, and he has never used it once. And I'm like, why do you need a fucking even knife? You don't. That is a glorified, that it's a glorified buck knife, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, Razor. Like, yes, they did teach stuff. They did, but it was my thing was 90% of people are not going to be lost in the Alps. That is only like 2% of the population that would ever travel to the Alps. It's like the Rocky Mountains. There's not even maybe 1% of the population that ever goes to the Rocky Mountains. Like, they were doing these big name TV shows were doing things in areas that you would never, a normal human, a normal everyday Joe would never go to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never going to go to the Amazon. I will never go to the Amazon a day in my life. I have no reason to be in the Amazon. Like, I have no reason to be out in the Sahara Desert.
I have no reason. I have no reason to be in any of those places that they chose. See, and that's what I'm saying. Trying like these people these people have contracts with this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we'll give you this free knife. It's just like I had a deal with Coleman. And the thing is Coleman said that I could not say anything bad about their product. I had to give them, and if anything happens to their product or whatever while I'm out in the field, I cannot show the defaults. I cannot show anything that would give Coleman a bad name. And I was like, well, then I don't want your business. Like I don't want your support then. If I can't say the truth about it, then why do I need it? You know what I mean? And if you're so dead set on me not saying the bad about your products, then that means something is wrong with it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm the same way, Razor. I love Shadow to death. Shadow is one of my brothers. You know, I knew him when he was just an up and coming channel. And it's like he's doing a lot of stuff. He's doing a lot of stuff that should not be talked about in survival. You know what I mean? It's survivalists are supposed to tell you what is going to happen. No ifs, ands, or buts. We don't talk. We don't make deals with some one-off chef that thinks he's I'm I'm not gonna say anything. Like Shadow's a good guy. Shadow is my brother. He always will be my brother. He always has been my brother. But I worry about him getting too much mixed information. I worry about him. And one of the things I worry about with like Shadow is he's vegan. And there's not that much vegan stuff to prepare with. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, trying it is. I mean, he should be sponsored, yes, but the thing is nobody wants to sponsor him because of different views on his channel, or should I say specific views on his channel. Like a lot of people don't want to, a lot of sponsors pick and choose who they want. Pick and choose the people that, like what we were talking about, fit their persona. You know what I mean? And Shadow's too good of a guy to fit any of those corrupted personas that all these other survival channels would literally give their left testicle to be a sponsor from. Imagine that, right? Yeah. I just, I've been on YouTube for so long. I see how this stuff works. You know what I mean? Like that's why I take my break away from the channels. And that's why Dave, Really Big Monkey 1, that's why he stopped doing YouTube. I mean, he hasn't posted a new video in months. And it's because work is getting in his way and everything. And he's not getting the sponsorship that he used to, because he is, quote unquote, technically a knife channel. He is not a survivalist channel. He is a knife channel, because most of the stuff that Really Big Monkey 1 posts is about his knives and his machetes and what you have to use in survival situations. Take care, trying brother. You get some sleep. Yeah, yeah. And I it don't bother me. It really doesn't bother me. That means I don't have to technically watch what I say. Like that's what gives us freedom over big channels. We have more of a freedom because we don't have eyes looking at us. We don't have the algorithm breathing down our back if we say something or do something that pisses off YouTube special elites. Take care, trying brother. It's all a game. It really is. Like, I mean, people say, "Oh, just go and buy some subs and raise your your sub count to 1,000." Because I get the watch hours. I do get the watch hours. I just don't have the sub count. Yeah. It takes that motivation. It takes that drive. It takes that. Can you look at yourself in the mirror? You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Razor? Like I took Temu off. Like I've took like one live stream I did where Temu sent me like $300 worth of items. they're required, but it's like I stopped with them because they were like, oh, if you clicked on electronics as a tester, we may send you sexually explicit items. And it's like, oh, well, I can't show that then. If you want me to show you the Temu haul that you gave me, like, I can't do that. I can't show whatever you want me to have. Yep. Oh, I know, brother. Yeah. Like, I like you're backing off of somebody else, like, oh, well, there's work calling me. Hold on, give me 1 second. Well, that was bad. All right, I'm going to have to get off here and everything. All right, you take care, brother. Thank you for joining and everything. Thank you, family. You all take care. I'm going to have to get off here because of work and life. But I love you all, family. You take care, Razor. You take care, Trying. Everybody else that was on here, take care. Love y'all. Bye.